Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Greg Otto, Editor-in-Chief of Cyberscoop here. And I'm talking with Michael Geraghty, the CISO for the state of New Jersey, and he is also the Director of the state Cybersecurity and Communications Integration Cell. Michael, thanks for joining us and being a part of the Fal.Con for Public Sector Virtual Cybersecurity Conference.
Thanks for having me.
So I know in your role that you do a lot with election security, and election security blends technical and human challenges together like no other area. So where do you think effort should be concentrated when it comes to the security of elections?
So I think what you mentioned in the question, it blends a whole bunch of different aspects, whether it's technical or human and stuff like that. So I think it's important to understand it's not one-dimensional. We can't just focus on the cyber aspect of it. Although cyber, there's a big threat vector, lots of risk associated with it, and a cyber attack could change an election at a macro level on major national elections and those types of things. However, when we talk about local elections, even the minutest threat vector, one vote being flipped because of voter fraud or some other issue, we also have issues. So the way that we approach it and the way that I suggest everybody approach it is to build a coalition, not just at the state level, but local, federal officials, private sector partners, so that you can attack all these threat vectors. We just got done over an hour ago with a big tabletop exercise with all our partners at the federal, state, local levels on anything and everything that could go wrong with an election. And it's not just cyber. It could be a protest or civil unrest outside, a polling location. It could be a bomb threat. It could be, mail fraud. It could be any of those things. And so being able to make sure that you do some threat modeling and then address it that way would be the best, rather than just focusing the major effort on one area or another.
So people working in security operations are often overwhelmed with threat intelligence. I mean, you were just talking about in that tabletop exercise, all of the things that can go wrong outside of cyber, but back in cyber, I feel like there's just a deluge of all types of threat intelligence. So what more can agencies do to help people leverage good information from the threat intel they're receiving?
Well, it's funny you asked that question. 4 years ago, when I interviewed for this job, one of the responsibilities was to share information, threat intelligence with public-private sector partners. And the question I had is, why do we want to be another threat intelligence source? There's more threat intelligence sources out there than there's good threat intelligence. And I say that is IP addresses, hash values, other indicators of attack or compromise. They provide some information that we wind up chasing and spending a lot of resources on. But it's really the context that we need. And whether we're producing threat intelligence or consuming it, there's got to be that context. And threat intelligence or any intelligence should spur action. Something that you're going to use that intelligence to help protect yourself, prevent an attack from coming. So if we're just looking, to see if an IP address or a hash value is somewhere within our network or on the system, that's just telling us that we've been attacked. That's not threat intelligence in the form of preventing attacks.
So the COVID-19 pandemic has changed every aspect of our world. How do you think it has changed cybersecurity?
Well, it's presented some challenges. Here in New Jersey, we've gone from a no work from home policy to you're mandated to work from home. And obviously, that has presented challenges not only on the IT side, but also on the cybersecurity side. Plans that you may have had to protect endpoints more securely, that were 5 years out, well, they became 5 minutes out instead. And so we've had to react, to get that done. And we've done that in a lot of ways. So it's had lots of issues for us. It's not just about VPNs or anything like that. We've gone from that, working within a protected network with defense in depth to exposing our endpoints on untrusted networks where we have no visibility. So I think that is, one of the biggest issues that we've seen.
So you talked about that workforce aspect, and so much of our workforce now is working from home. What's the biggest worry for CISOs when dealing with that?
Well, part of that untrusted network, as I talked about, they're on their home networks that may be compromised, and so we've got those things. One of the other things is in order to get people to work from home and make them productive, some IT organizations took shortcuts and they took some of the controls away or out of the mix, which opens them up to more threats as well. And then I'll talk about the casualness of working from home. We hear from everybody, it's great. I don't have to get dressed. I don't have to shave. I don't have to shower. Nobody can see me. That casualness also extends to their cyber hygiene and not clicking on links, or they're not in the office. They don't have that concept of being watched or whatever it may be, that formality to using the computer. And they may take up risky behaviors, which again puts them at risk, puts their systems at risk, and then puts everybody else at risk within the organization.
Great. Michael, appreciate your insights. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.